Right, hi there YouTube, and thanks so much for joining me. Wishing you all a happy New Year's Eve. Right, today we are going to be reverse engineering this guy. And this is that 982 supposedly gigabyte fake USB drive that was bought on Amazon for £6.99. Now, we're going to see the case after the intro, so let's just cut to that and let's see what we can make of this rather fake device.
Get strong.
Okay, so first and foremost, we have our return summary. So they've said, well, Amazon have said that we're processing your refund. You do not need to return the item back to us. And this is in relation to that Fildant USB memory stick, 982 gigabyte waterproof USB stick, 982 gigabyte USB 3 high-speed memory stick, metal USB flash drive with keychain for PC, computer, laptop, external data storage. Return reason, item is defective or does not work. There was no actual option on the returns to state that it was actually a fraudulent device to begin with. But here it is, we have it here. So what I'm going to quickly do is pause so I can turn on the light. Bear with me. Okay, so I'm back. I've just turned the light on. And yeah, it was all of £6.99 anyway. That's been refunded back to my credit card. So essentially we get to keep the device and we get to tear it down. So without further ado, I say we should have a look at that. Okay, so we're on the workstation here with our fake USB flash drive. And what we can notice straight away is that it is indeed blue there, which would indicate USB 3. Now, I'm not quite sure how I'm going to go about getting into this. I'm going to try and prise out that middle and that blue piece and see if there's anything there that's going to yield the truth about this. So I'm not quite sure. I don't really want to destroy the whole casing. Let's get that screw off of there for a start. Put that away. Right, okay, how am I going to do this? I think I might just try and lever that out. Oh, and that's come out quite easily. That's interesting. You think we'll be able to... Let's try that again. Oh, yes. One moment, please. Right, I'm back. I've got a pair of tweezers. So maybe this might actually help us fare somewhat better. See if we can actually grab hold of that. Ah, that's better. And what do you know? There it is. So there's the empty case now. It just feels fairly light. Probably some aluminium affair. Yeah, probably some aluminium affair there. Now that blue that we saw, that doesn't appear to be anything other than just, well, a piece of nondescript plastic. So that has absolutely nothing to do whatsoever with the flash drive. Now, let's see if we can zoom in a little bit more, or maybe I can bring this up because there's some markings on it. Yeah, there is. So what I'm going to try and do, I'm going to quickly pause while I pump that number into Google and see what we come up with. So one moment, please. Okay, so I'm back, and that is an HXZ64S 2307-3D V7. Well, what we can do, let's zoom out and bear with me. Right, we've zoomed out, and what do you know? For HXZ64S 2307-3D V7, there's actually nothing on Google whatsoever about that. So we can try and go back into Google again. And let's just paste it in. Type in flash drive. And there's nothing there about it. Nothing at all. Yep, so it did not match any documents or anything. So bear with me. So essentially, there's no data sheets, there's nothing about this whatsoever. I'm not quite sure what those two gold pins are on there, actually. I'm not sure what they're for, because it doesn't go to anything. And these 4 pins are obviously just for the USB lines, and everything is contained within that plastic. There's no way of actually getting into that. So I don't know what chip is in that. I have no idea. But that's all that was in it, and it's essentially a pile of garbage. So, there's not really much to be said on that, but bear with me. You see, on most generic flash drives these days, when you open them up, you should end up with something that looks like that. Right, so this here, if we try and visualize it somewhat, basically, where you've got the gold pins here, that would be there. And then somewhere inside, there should be what looks like a USB controller. And that tells the computer essentially how much storage is on this guy. Because the computer itself, when you plug it in, doesn't communicate directly with the flash memory chip. It actually has to communicate with the mass storage controller instead. So all the data that passes to that flash memory chip goes via this guy. Now, with regards to our offending item here, I have no idea if indeed there's any chip in there. There must be, because it was obviously doing the read-write tests up till about 60 gig. So I suspect this might have a 60 gig storage chip in it, but of course it won't really be usable because it's been programmed to recognize 982. But yet on a read-write test, which is even more stranger, this thing failed at 2 megabytes. So I'm not quite sure exactly really what was going on there. But I strongly suspect that there is some sort of mass storage controller in there, and that might be about it. So essentially, yeah, there's no flash memory chip inside that at all. it might be worth at a later date trying to pry into that plastic and see what there actually is in there, to see what there is in there. But I strongly suspect, well, we might not even be able to get into that because that is completely moulded. So yeah, it doesn't bend in any way, it doesn't flex. So I might actually try and have to chemically etch that that plastic off. But it's rather weird. It's rather weird in its construction, and somebody's obviously gone to quite a lot of time. Bear with me. So yeah, essentially that's about it for this. Yeah, it's just solid plastic with some sort of, I don't even think that's gold on there either. It looks like it's gold plated or even just gold coloured. So it's a rather cheap thing indeed. But there's no way into that. So yeah, it's entirely fake. Let's see if we can put it back together. Which we can, and that's it. Proclaims it's waterproof. Well, yeah, possibly. That might be about the only thing it is. Strange. But there we are, YouTube. There we are. That's another fake product, and a teardown as best as we can. YouTube, thank you again for watching me, and for watching that on the teardown of that rather offensive USB flash drive. Offensive and fake. Good catch though. So that just brings us to the conclusion today. And as always, I thank you very much for watching the video. Like, comment and subscribe as always. And for now, I'm wishing you all a very, very happy new year. So I will see you most likely either later or at some point in 2024, where there's going to be a lot more going on. So stay tuned all for that one. And until then, I will see you next time. Bye.